Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Double T 97.3.com. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Jamie. This is from the University Interscholastic League. They will no longer allow foreign exchange students to take part in varsity sports. The proposed amendment was approved during the Legislative Council's annual meeting in Round Rock on Monday. Foreign exchange students could qualify through a waiver process. However, during Monday's meeting, school administrators equated allowing foreign exchange students to participate in sports with open enrollment, thus giving schools a competitive advantage. So I don't know if they're worried. I don't know if we're kind of worried about recruitment here or what. But one of the superintendents says, all my coaches will say that open enrollment has the same advantage over closed enrollment, so I agree with it. It's a competitive advantage. As it was commented yesterday, you can tell that teams that have a higher percentage of foreign exchange students, you can also tell if they have a higher percentage of open enrollment athletes. I understand that's not politically popular, but I throw it out there for the sake of coaches who feel like it's a very unfair disadvantage. I would just say I hope we pass this, and I hope it opens the door for other motions.
Man, I don't know what to say about this one. I mean, it feels like there probably is some craziness going on, right, with recruiting and with certain schools, all that good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there are plenty of just normal kids that come and go to a school, and it seems unfair that they're not able to, to compete in high school athletics. That's somewhat, I don't know, that's a hard one. But clearly people are somewhat abusing it if that is the case, right?
Yeah, because one of the quotes here is our Texas kids are not allowed to go to a neighboring town without moving there and playing at the varsity level, but they are allowed to get on a plane and come across to our state and play immediately, taking the place many times of a community kid who has worked hard to get that position on an athletic team. I do not understand, I've said this for 12 years, why we continue to allow this to happen. Now with the advancements of social media and you see what's put out there, they're actually putting height, weight, position. They're actually focusing on community and putting it out there so that community people will get this. It's like a menu now that you can do that, and it's unfair to Texas kids and community kids.
I don't know that I disagree with any of that.
Yeah,
so
that's from Dr. Adam Hood. He's the superintendent of Robert Lee ISD and a representative for Class 1A Division 2. I mean, you do. You have a lot of kids who, whether it's middle school and then their sophomore or junior year. I mean, they fought like heck to make the varsity, and then some kid comes in, and because he or she is more talented and they're going to be there for a year or whatever, boom, they're on the basketball team or the football team or the high jumper or whatever. So on one hand, life's not fair. On the other hand, if it's one thing if it's like this kid just happens to come in from, Czechoslovakia and just lands in Lubbock and says, yeah, I'm just going to go to school here, and I'm going to go to Lubbock High, or I'm going to go to Monterey, or I'm going to go to Friendship or Liberty or whatever. But it's another thing if coaches are like, hey, there's this Czechoslovakian kid that's thinking about coming to Lubbock. He just happens to be 6'7". Man, he can really help our fill-in-the-blank varsity basketball team, boys or girls. But that's going to knock old so-and-so out. Man, he's been a gym rat. She's been a gym rat. But you know what? This guy can help us win.
Yeah, it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
It's transfer portal-esque for high school, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's tough, no doubt. It almost feels like if a kid is transferring from one high school to another, they have to sit a year if they're on a varsity sport or whatever. It almost feels like if a kid's coming in from out of the country that he should have to do the same thing.
This amendment does not prohibit foreign exchange students from participating in non-athletic UIL-sanctioned competition. It also allows them to participate in athletics at the non-varsity level. So,
Yeah.
some of the most well-known foreign exchange students with Texas connections include Eduardo Nahara and NFL kicker Nahara, thank you, and NFL kicker Raul Alegre. Remember him from back in the day? Mm-hmm. But I don't think when Raul Alegre came here, it's like,
I wouldn't guess. I bet it was a little bit different.
It was a little bit different. Yeah.
I would guess the same for Nahara as well.
Yeah, Nahara played basketball at Cornerstone Christian Academy in San Antonio as an exchange student from Mexico. He then got a full ride to the University of Oklahoma. Now, the Cornerstone doesn't compete under the UIL and is a member of the Texas Christian Athletic Fellowship, so that's a much, much different deal. Alegre never played American football before spending his year in Shelton, Washington as a foreign exchange student, so that's kind of a moot point as well. He wanted to kick for Montana and then Texas before playing for the New York Giants and winning 2 Super Bowls in '87 and 1990. So, I think I tend to side with the community kids. I think I tend to side with there's something to be said for that kid that has worked their way up.
I'm all for it. Yep, I'm completely agree. Agree, and that has been there the whole time.
Yeah. As opposed to recruiting someone to come in just for the sake of winning.
My guess is that the reason that this bill is put into place is because there are certain schools that are pulling in a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. It's not random.
Somebody's abused.
Yes, it's not random.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And whether they're getting paid to come or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, and look, there's plenty of stories, right? Especially in this great state where, old Joe at the cement factory, has a kid that's an offensive lineman that can block anybody, or a quarterback that can throw it 90 yards.
Or a new coach comes into Texas Tech and he's got a kid.
Yeah, he's got a kid.
Yeah.
And every school wants him to go with, hey, so-and-so is the best.
Don't think there's not recruiting going on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody says Czechoslovakia hasn't been a country for 30 years, Chuck.
That makes it even more funny.
Okay. I mean, I got to be honest with you. That's a new fact for me. I mean, not that I'm looking up Czechoslovakia all the time, but I'm going to take that what they're saying is probably truth. But that was just a point to make. Okay, just pulling a country out of the sky as opposed to China.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is Wednesday, October the 29th, 2025. Here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
1942, Branch Rickey is named the president and general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Okay.
He would have a successful run.
Yes, he would.
1969, Tom Seaver is voted the National League Cy Young Award winner.
The Mets were amazing that year.
And the Cubs blew it.
Yes, they did.
The other part of that conversation
they did.
People tend to forget. 1988, Texas Tech counters Texas's 18-point third quarter with an 18-point fourth quarter, making it a 2-point play on the final touchdown in a 33-32 win over the Longhorns. 1991, Buck Showalter replaces Stump Merrill as the New York Yankees manager.
Lucky Buck.
Didn't really work out, did it?
With Buck?
Yeah.
Yeah, he set him up, though.
He did, right?
Yep.
He did.
1994, Zebby Lethbridge throws 3 touchdown passes, and Texas Tech's defense earns 6 sacks and a safety in a 33-9 upset of number 19 Texas.
Nice.
2026, Patrick Mahomes scrambled 15 yards for a touchdown in the first overtime, and Clayton Hatfield kicked a 37-yard field goal in the second overtime, and Texas Tech beat TCU 27-24.
What year was that?
That would be 2016.
2016. I think
Did
you
I say
said
2026?
Yeah, it's like
I was
you're-
also looking at the next one probably because that was in 2024.
Okay.
Los Angeles Dodgers slugger Freddie Freeman sets a record with a home run in his 6th consecutive World Series game, including 2 with the Atlanta Braves in 2021 and an 11-4 loss to the at Yankee Stadium to New York.
I stumbled across an ESPN conversation on 100.7 The Score the other day. I think it might have been yesterday. And they were talking about Freddie Freeman. Is he a Hall of Famer in your mind?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And they were kind of going through the numbers and everything. And they think that at the end, the consensus was yes, but there was a little bit of a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It is
so good in the postseason, too.
Yeah.
National Oatmeal Day.
I'm in every once in a while.
Not necessarily a bowl of it, but raisin cookie, yes, please. And could you hook me up with 2 or 3 more?
Yes. Winona Ryder is 54. Gabrielle Union is 53. Richard Dreyfuss, 78. Andy Dalton is 38. And R.A. Dickey is 51. And on this day in 1929.
This is not good.
No.
This is
the definition of not good.
You bring us such depressing news.
Well, just keep waiting because there's a lot coming. Black Tuesday hits Wall Street on October 29th, 1929, as investors trade 16,410,030 shares on the New York Stock Exchange in a single day. Billions of dollars were lost, wiping out thousands of investors, and stock ticketers ran hours behind because the machinery could not handle the tremendous volume of trading. In the aftermath of Black Tuesday, America and the rest of the industrialized world spiraled downward into the Great Depression. Stock prices had actually begun to decline in September of that year and October of 2029, and on the 18th, the fall began. Panic set in, and on October 24th, Black Thursday, a record 12,894,650 shares were traded. Investment companies and leading bankers attempted to stabilize the market by buying up great blocks of stock, producing a moderate rally on Friday. Monday, however, the storm broke again, and the market went into free fall. Black Monday was followed by Black Tuesday, in which stock prices collapsed completely. And that, this day in sports history.
Oh, okay. Makes me kind of want to look at things today. All right. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. That Zebby Lethridge win over Texas. This person says that was my first Texas Tech game at age 11.
Nice.
That's a memorable one. Yeah. This from Paul. Now I'm reminded of the Yugo. Jay Leno joked it was the first $4,000 car you had to push. Okay. I was at.
What was the joke back in the day? You go, we all walk.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you go, we all walk. Went to the basketball event on Broadway last night. It was pretty cool. It was a good evening. It wasn't cool. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was kind of perfect. I mean, the wind had died down by then, so it didn't. I don't think affect the shooting too much. But they had some fireworks. Introduced the men and the women's basketball teams. Coaches spoke a little bit. This was kind of a not the kind of thing you want to see, but they had a knockout round in which they had 3 players from the women, 3 players from the men, and 3 students. And one of the students won the knockout round.
Nice. Go.
A little girl won the dunk competition. They had the defending champ, and then they had a message from Mac McClung for the defending champ. This little kid, probably, I don't know, 7 years old would be my guess. And then had the managers play each other from both the men and the women. It was a little feisty. You could tell both those 3-on-3 guys who wanted to win, and the women's team won. The women's managers beat the men's managers. But while I was out there, Jamie, I met some Morning Drive listeners. It was nice to meet Robert and Melissa last night. And also, as I was going to my car, John was gracious enough to called me Kansas City Chuck.
Okay. Not Missouri Chuck?
No.
That was nice of him.
Just Kansas City Chuck.
You've been called worse, probably.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt I've been called first. Let's see. The guy that says that was his first game at age 11 now says the 1988 game was my first game. So I'm confused. But didn't take a whole lot to confuse me. But yeah, it was nice to meet Robert and Melissa last night.
That's cool.
On Broadway. Yeah, Hoops on Broadway. Then the fireworks kind of cool. They had a band. Fink and I did not stay for the band. It was getting to be 9 o'clock. Man, I was tired. I'd had kind of a long day.
Well, you are Chuck Heinz, known going band hater.
No, I'm not. We go to a lot of shows. We go to a lot of concerts. I'm just not.
He even likes the Aggie band.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
How they form an arrow so perfectly. Every time.
I'm telling you.
Every year for 150 years.
I just got to tell you, I do enjoy that Aggie band. I mean, I enjoy the Going band from Raiderland.
He makes fun of the K-State band because they know one song.
They do know one song.
The Aggies literally only know one march.
We'll hear that damn Wabash Cannonball. Hopefully, we should have a battle for the Wabash Cannonball rights. Win that game, K-State can't ever play it again.
Don't put anything on this game.
Don't take your little rivalry with your Jayhawks and your Wildcats and turn it into us. We don't care about their song. It doesn't bother us. Okay, that's your Kansas in you. That's not your Red Raider in you. Okay, keep that for yourself. We're not having any battle for the song. Okay, that's you people from Kansas. Don't put that on us.
That's probably just me. I'm probably the one. I don't even know if my KU buddies are.
Probably Clint hates it too, and Randy and JR down the hall. All the Kansas folks, they probably all hate it. You Kansas folks can keep hating it. That's not about us.
I just don't want to hear their fight song this weekend. That's the one I don't want to hear.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Somebody wants to know if Fink and I did a free throw contest. We did not.
Oh, man.
Missed opportunity.
Nobody wants to.
I would have showed up for that. To heckle.
Yeah, that's something the crowd would have loved to see there. First of all, they were like, who are these old men out here?
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Jamie, we are getting close to our first freeze. It currently, according to my phone, is 34 degrees. The old temperature inversion may shrink it just a little bit. So those of you that are participating in the various first freeze contests around town, you know, if you had this morning on your number, then you might be a winner of something. We didn't have anything first freeze-ish, any contesting like that. But what do you think? Do you think we'll get to 32 this morning?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Jeff McGuire says no. I mean, he was a weather chaser for a long time, right? Weren't you?
Paid a lot of attention to it.
Where
I was doing, we were reporting on it. I wasn't chasing.
Okay.
I'd love to go storm chasing.
Would you?
It's storm chasing, not storm catching. It's different. Don't want to catch the storm. Just want to chase it.
How close would you like to get to like a tornado, or because that's what you're chasing, right?
Yeah. I would like to get close enough to see one, but be far enough away to not be affected by one.
Okay. Think you could do that on your bike?
No. That would be stupid. No, because you're going down dirt roads. You're going down roads that aren't roads. No, I would. If I was to do that, I would do that in a truck that I didn't care about. I like my truck, so
okay.
No.
This person says my vehicle shows 31 degrees, 30 miles, 30 minutes east of town. Okay, well, yeah, maybe out there in the hinterland, it's gotten below 32. Texas Tech and Kansas State on Saturday. The Red Raiders taking on the Wildcats. We'll have it for you with Optimum Game Day Live coverage at 7. Coverage then Saturday morning, and then from Manhattan at 1:30, and the kick itself at 2:30. Kenny Perry met with the media yesterday. He's the associate head coach and special teams coordinator for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. He talks about Kansas State's challenges.
I'm not worried about K-State. I'm worried about us, like always. Yeah, they've got a good program. They've had good specialists, and they've got good return guys, like they always have. So it's still going to come down to how we do our stuff. We got to be physical and play physical the whole game, and not make. We made some return blunders, just the ball's hitting the ground, and we can't do that. We got to get better at that, and that's kind of embarrassing. But we'll fix it this week.
One thing that I feel like that we've heard several different times, whether it's just there from Coach Perry or from Coach McGuire on Monday, is about one being dominant up front, and the other thing is being more physical. And maybe that just comes with the territory against certain teams. But maybe it leads me to think that they haven't feels like that they've got more to give when it comes to being physical.
Yeah, I think that's one of those terms that football coaches use.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what game you just played. Mm-hmm. They're probably gonna if they won, they're probably gonna talk about, I thought we were real physical today. Okay. And if you're asking them, before the season or after a game, what do we got to get better at? I just want us to be physical.
Yeah.
I just want us to be physical. Right. Yeah. I do have a question for a wonder when it comes to the kicking game and special teams. Do you think we continue to, after we saw struggles in the kicking game this past week with a missed extra point and a missed field goal, do you think there's any change in how we're doing that? Are we going to stick with one? Are we going to keep flip-flopping?
I bet you they keep flip-flopping. The
one has missed 2 extra points now.
Upton Bellefonte, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that's missed 2 extra points.
2 extra points.
Yeah.
We went in the stands to get a guy to kick field goals for extra points before.
No, I know that.
Because he was missing extra points.
But he wasn't asked that the other day, was he, Jeff, about we're getting rid of the or?
Nope.
Yeah.
I also wasn't at Perry, so I don't know if he was asked or not officially.
I just looking at everything that was listed out, I didn't see anything that was whether it was asked. Maybe that's a question for Coach McGuire tomorrow night. So if you're going and you want to ask him a question, maybe the question of, hey, are we gonna name a field goal kicker? Because here we are. I mean, this is week 9. You're 7-1.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the right time to ask that question.
Well, it's a patron that would ask that question.
I know. It just doesn't feel like the right time.
Okay.
That's a press conference question. He doesn't want to, at his coach's show with a bunch of people around, call out that he benched one of his kickers.
Well, when you put it like that, you're probably right.
Well, I mean, isn't that what he's doing?
Well, I was thinking naming a starter, but you're right. The other guy would be put on the pine. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. That's a feel-good show.
Yeah, that's a promote the program, everybody be excited and happy and all that. That's a press conference question.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
And so I apologize for not going yesterday and asking Kenny Perry about, hey, we're getting rid of because I don't think that they are going to get rid of the or.
I would think I tended to guess that you will be right.
Let's see. When I look at the special teams depth chart, it has Upton Bellefonte or Stone Harrington as your kicker. And they don't list it out as kickoff kicker or, well, they do list kickoff kicker, and that's Stone Harrington.
That's never changed.
Yeah, that's been the way, because he's got the, I think, bigger leg for that. But it is a little puzzling because you're right. Bellefonte's missed a couple of extra points, and at what point in time do you go, man, we need every point we can get? It feels like Saturday's kind of one of those games, even though I think a lot of people are going to say, and myself included, a 14-point margin of victory for Texas Tech. But, boy, you sure don't want it to come down to an extra point and have to roll out somebody. I wonder this, Jamie. So let's say the Red Raiders score, and it's there's a minute to go in the game, and it's 27-27, and the extra point is pending. You send it out Stone, you send it out Upton.
I'm going to send out the guy who hasn't missed an extra point this year.
That'd be Stone Harrington.
How many seasons have we missed 2 extra points in a season?
Oh, man. Who knows?
I'm going to say not that many. Mm-hmm. Okay, we know we did in 2008, and that's why
that change was made.
Yeah, that change was made, right.
We did an 8. We did a couple of years with Cliff where we
had kicker problems.
A lot of kicker problems, but that was also field goal problems too.
Field goal, yeah, I don't feel like.
But I think it was both. I think it was missed extra points and more field goals than extra points for sure. But McGuire hasn't had any. McGuire's had awesome kickers since he got here. Yeah. He has been blessed with the kickers.
I don't know. I'm not trying to push for a change. I just continue. Me personally, I can't imagine that is the best thing for kickers.
So Upton Belafonte is 14 of 16 with point after touchdowns, 6 for 6 on field goals, although it feels like his field goals have been less than, because he's 5 for 5, 20 from the 20-yard line to the 29-yard line. He's 1 for 1 between the 30s. Stone Harrington is 4 for 4 between the 20s, 1 for 1 between the 30s, and 2 for 4 between 40 and 49, and 1 for 2, 50 to 99. So he is 8 of 11 from field goals. But Stone Harrington is 21 of 21 for point after touchdowns. If that score is tied with 58 seconds to go and it's PAT time, I think you're sending out Stone Harrington number 48. If 27 is going out there, I think you want to call timeout and go, whoa. 48's going out there. You don't want to waste your time out, though, on a damn extra point.
No, you do not. You do not.
Are you with me on that? I mean, the guy that's 21 for 21 should go out there before the guy's 14 for 16.
I kind of feel like that's the point that I brought this up.
Yeah, no brainer. Yeah, good job.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, I am giving you all the power of Big 12 media members. Jeff, Chuck, and our fine listening audience. And you get to nominate 5 Red Raiders for Big 12 all-conference team.
Oh, okay.
Which 5 are you nominating?
Okay. Which 5?
5.
This is football too, right? I'm just making sure.
No, let's do baseball.
Okay.
Go, Chuck. Give us 5 players.
I thought you were going to come up with soccer or golf or something, volleyball or something like that.
I really want you to give me 5 baseball players.
I can't do that. got the first baseman.
Yeah, we got a second baseman too.
We got the first baseman whose name I always mispronounced. We got I don't know.
Chuck, the joke you should have gone with. Well, there's who's on first, what's on second. I don't know who's on third.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the joke you should have done.
While Chuck is coming up with 5 baseball players, Jeff, do you want to answer?
I got 3 right, like just boom off the top of my head, and we're starting with Jacob Rodriguez. That's going to be the no-brainer. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's going to be on everybody's list, even if they're not a Red Raider fan. Mm-hmm. David Bailey also probably on the same kind of conversation. Mm-hmm. I would love to put Skylar Gill-Howard here. I would, for the smile alone, but that he didn't have enough this season, and that's sad. I'm going to put Behren Morton on this list. The Big 12 quarterbacks, there's been nobody that's been scary this year other than running the football. Behrens been throwing it well. And if Texas... It's shocking to me that he hasn't gotten the credit for the offensive production in the conference.
Okay.
We're giving him the credit. Mm-hmm. Like us. We're going to give him the credit anyway because it's us. being Red Raiders. The Big 12 Conference, I don't think they're realizing how good of a quarterback he is because the focus is so much on the defense. I'm going to go Quentin Joyner. And I'm going to go...
What?
Not Quentin Joyner.
Wow.
Okay. No. Now I'm blanking.
How about Cam Dickey?
Cam Dickey, yes. Why am I pulling
I couldn't remember Cam's name yesterday either, but I did not call him Quentin Joyner.
Wow.
Where the heck is my brain? I am now flummoxed. Chuck, go, and I'll get you my fifth one in a minute.
Okay. I without question agree with you about David Bailey and no question about Jacob Rodriguez. I think Jamie's going to have Ben Roberts on his list, so I'm not going to steal that thunder. Coy Aiken.
Pick your 5. Don't worry about who I'm picking.
Yeah. Coy Aiken is going to be on my list offensively. Man, I wish I could put Terrence Carter on there just because I think he could have been on that list, but I think he's just been a little bit too. It's just not been able to get to him enough because maybe of your quarterback situation. Okay, so I got Bailey, I got Rodriguez, I got Roberts. That's 3, right? Coy Aiken is 4. And you know what? Jack Burgess. I'll give him a nod. I think you've punted the ball pretty well this year when you've needed to.
Okay.
When you've needed to.
Okay. My 5 guys are Jacob Rodriguez, Ben Roberts. They are David Bailey. They are Romello Height. And they are Jack Burgess.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man, we are thinking.
Are those your 5?
Well,
was those the same 5?
Pretty close, yeah. Did you have Coy Aiken on your list?
I did not.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a reason I asked this question. The question was, I think they're all. I don't think we have anybody on offense.
Yeah, Coy Aiken was my guy. 34 receptions, but 455 yards, 4 touchdowns.
You have another receiver on your team that has just 1 less catch and more yards.
I know, Caleb Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Coy Aiken's catches have been more impactful.
That's fair. Fair. I love Coy. I think he's been terrific.
And that, I don't think I asked you this question. We talked about it a little bit on the post game.
I think we spread the ball around a lot, and because of that, that's why, not one of them has just massive numbers.
I really like what Reggie Virgil has done for you, although, man, sure wish you would have caught that ball the other day. But did you think the Coy Aiken catch where he got popped right there in the middle in the second half against Oklahoma State, did you think that was targeting or should have been, hitting a defenseless receiver, or is it just a bang-bang play?
I thought they handled it perfectly. They initially called it, right, if I remember correctly, and they reviewed it and then said no. Yeah. And seeing the replays, I thought they had it right. I think they got it right.
Okay.
I think they handled it perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah, and assume it is, throw a flag, look it over, realize he didn't.
Okay.
Yep. I thought they handled it perfectly. Way to go, Big 12 officials. You guys are awesome.
Okay.
Never hear that before on this radio station.
No.
Jeff, you got your 5 yet?
Yes, I did. And then we got distracted by officials. I'm going to go and add to the list that I already almost came up with completely without being an idiot. Romello Height. We'll add him to that as my 5.
Okay.
All right.
So did you have an offensive player?
Behren Morton.
Behren Morton. You had Behren. That's right.
And I had Cam Dickey.
Oh, and you had Dickey too. So you had 2 offensive players.
You can't have the number 1 offense in the conference and not have a player on the team.
I think offensively that you're hurt both in the running back position and wide receiver position that you spread the wealth, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Cam's closing in on 700 yards. Plus he has over 100 yards receiving too. If for him to be first team all conference, you would think he'd have to be probably a couple 100 yards more at this point to be in contention for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just my take on him, even though I think he's been terrific. But Jacoby's had good days too, and and that's why his numbers aren't awesome. Aren't next level, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, hey, I really like your defense. They're really good.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Chuck Heinz. The great Gordo has weighed in. Dear Chuck, how are you? I am fine. Since you are a native of the Sunflower State, what recommendations do you have for visiting the mean streets of Manhattan, Kansas? Thank you for the tech MVP talk that you give us. Gordo, P.S. Please tell one Jeff McGuire and Jamie Lent that Gordo says hello.
What's up, Gordo?
He says hello.
Hello, Gordo.
They call their bar area there Aggieville, and there's a really good donut shop there in Aggieville. Okay. And if you go out east of town, it's like out in the outskirts, there's a really good pizza place. I'll see if I can get the name of that for you. I've got a there was a kind of little bar, and you can get a cold beer, and you can be with the natives and some wings and stuff like that.
I need to find that travel book that I saw once that I should have bought then. And it was a list of college towns and all of their great pizza places that are unique to that town.
Yeah.
So, like, no matter where you would get this book, and when I think the book was called "Where Can I Get Some Pie?"
Okay.
And it was a big pizza, a pizza slice on the cover. And it was all of the small mom and pop pizza places that if you go to that school, that's where you would get pizza at. Like, that's the place.
It's AJ's New York Pizzeria, and it's phenomenal.
They're in Manhattan?
They're in Manhattan.
In Manhattan. Okay.
There's another...
AJ's New York Pizzeria. Go there. I promise you. It's fantastic.
There's another place. It's called Willie's Hideout. And it's not a honky tonk, but it's pretty close. Because I don't think there's dancing there. There's cold beer. There's good wings, and it's when we got snowed in there in Manhattan. I think this was before we got snowed in. Thinking I went there with one of the local.
Want to skip the honky tonk part and just get the good pizza and wings, go to AJ's New York Pizzeria.
Okay, I'll have to do that
every single time I go there.
Okay.
And it's usually I make sure I order extra so I eat on the rest of the weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Maybe we're not going to Manhattan this year, so
all of the different orders are like named after a subway route or whatever from New York City.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So that must have been a New Yorker that put that in there.
I assume so, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, 8:19 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Kenny Perry is the special teams coach for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I don't know how this compares to other years. It just feels like that you've done a better job blocking kicks this year. A.J. McCarty's gotten 2. Oliver Miles has gotten 2. And then Mikal Harrison Pilot has gotten 1. All totaled, you've blocked 5 kicks this year. Opponents have only blocked 1. Here's Kenny Perry on if he's surprised on the effectiveness of the blocking of kicks.
Not really. I've been, these guys that we got our guys are working. It's unbelievable how hard. Well, first of all, like I've told you before, they put up with me because I'm really hard on these dudes about just the little basic things that you've got to be great at. They've thrived every week. It's been somebody different. Oliver Miles, I've been saying it, that kid's a different guy. He's going to be a great player at Texas. He's great for me right now, but I think the future for him of what he's doing on special teams, it always translates. Jacob Rodriguez, his first year, was a great special teams player. And then look what I did for his career now, so it just goes on. John Curry, same way, he was great special teams. Those guys have all, Wes Smith, they've all, and it always, for whatever reason, that transfers later on in their career when they start playing. They can just buy into special teams young. It just makes a big difference on how they play the rest of their career.
It is a mindset, but it feels like, because Coach Perry talked about before the Oklahoma State game about how they always have something where they try to kind of scheme something up to, surprise the opposing team. And, I mean, they got a block punt on that first possession. It led to a quick touchdown. And bada bing, bada boom, you're up 14-0 because of your special teams. So it feels like that they have been, and maybe you just have better players, and your schemes just work better with better players. But it just feels like you're better this year.
That factors in, obviously, but I think Coach is really good at his job, too, and it's been great to see the pressure you're putting on these punters and getting hands on a lot of balls.
Yeah, and I would think, too, as other teams look at that, the long snapper and the punter, and they all kind of maybe get the yips a little bit. The field goal kicker going, hey, look at those guys with the, now that it's getting a little bit colder, the breath's going to come out of their nose and, their mouth and stuff like that. And they're going to be like, just behemoths there coming after you. You get all fraidy cat there back there, knowing that this guy's about ready to pummel you. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
I knew you were. But you've seen that on NFL films, the John Facenda type voice. The defensive line is ready to come after the punter, and you can see the breath they're taking, and they're ready to take that pigskin and shove it back in his face. Or scoop and score.
You do a very good John Facenda.
Scoop and score. 8:21 this morning here on the morning drive. Behren Morton is going to be the starting quarterback for the Texas Tech Red Raiders on Saturday. He talked yesterday about looking at the game differently when he was on the sideline.
I've been on the sidelines, my whole life being a coach's kid. So, getting to cheer on the guys and go see them execute the offense, it's brings so much joy. Mitch, he has such a unique story, and for him to get that opportunity he got last Saturday, I was fired up for him. It's something we've talked about for a long time, and for him to actually go out there and, get back on the field and, get to play the game that he loves, really happy for him.
But I also think when you're a starter, whether it's quarterback or other positions, when you are out for maybe a game or even if it's a handful, you do get to kind of say, okay, the game looks – this is kind of how it looks, and you get to kind of size it up maybe a little bit different. Maybe as a result of that, the next time that you're in there, you might respond a little bit differently, whether it's adversity or success or just playing the game itself.
Well, unfortunately for Behren, he said he spent a lot of time on the sideline being a coach's kid, but he's also spent a lot of time injured. Yeah. So I would guess that Behren's gotten plenty of that already.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's probably thinking, I got all the sideline experience I need.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I don't need any more of that sideline experience, Chuck. We've gotten plenty of that. All right, one last thing from Behren. He talks about attacking this Kansas State defense.
Yeah, I think they're playing at a high level right now. They're starting to find their groove defensively, offensively. They're starting to play, as a group. We got to start fast. We got to be able to run the ball for sure. We got two great backs, so let's lean on them early. Let's establish the run game, and then once they want to put a few extra guys in the box, we got weapons. So, just go out there and attack them. From the jump, start early, start fast, and stay on them.
Start early, just keep going, stay on them. I think the big thing Saturday is going to be, obviously they want to establish the run, but because of Behren's arm and his accuracy and what he's able to do down the field, I think that will keep teams and keep Kansas State especially honest a little bit, and so that may allow the running game to be a little bit more effective than what it's been.
Well, I hope so.
Without him.
Hope so. I feel like, the big thing for me with Behren is he keeps defenses honest. And with Will Hammond knowing that he's more of a quarterback, that they have to respect the run, I think Behren allows you to attack all areas of the field better with his passing attack, and defenses aren't going to sit in the middle of the field and push, and put 7 in the box or whatever to slow down the run game. They have to respect his passing ability. You're so much better passing with Behren in there than you were with Will, and so ultimately, I think that's going to open things up for the run game.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.